Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Can you guys hear me? Honestly, my mic should be working. Honestly, it's weird. My mic didn't connect. What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing well today. Oh, Nasdaq's up to almost 22,000. And again, I think when we honestly look at the big picture today, markets are almost back. So, like, markets are almost back. We're at 21.5s. 22.5s are where we were prior, so we're only a couple percent away from all-time highs in most things this morning, chat. Gold at 31.70s. All right, cool. Let me know if the music is good. I'll get this out the way. Before we get started, as I always tell you, remember, I might have no idea what I'm talking about, might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. A lot of stuff's opinion-based. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I might be wrong about anything and everything. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Definitely don't copy my day trading. Top 3 worst day trader of all time. Don't do it. I appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much. Hit the like button as you join the stream today. Cheers to you guys. What's up, Sam, Jamie, ST, Vassal, D, Ray, Faye, Wright, Jay, Lost, Keegan, Ro. What's up, guys? Good morning. Meta is down a little bit. Meta had some news last night that made it tumble here. Look at this. So Meta, at the end of the day yesterday, look at this drop. Had some bad news that came out. I'm trying to find it right now. But something happened. We'll use AI to find this. But yeah, Meta had some bad news. Alright, so yeah, NASDAQ up to 21.5s, basically 21.5s. Meta down pretty significantly. We're getting the drop news now. Gold on market strength has come back a little bit. We can take a look at bond yields here, which you know, watching bond yields is really important to see what the market's gonna do. And bond yields are down a little bit today. I know they were at over 4.5 yesterday. They're at 4.4 this morning. If we take a look at this, they have been dipping basically since the 14th. So for the last 2 days straight, bond yields have been coming down with strength in markets, which means that people are buying up bonds again. Means a lower interest rate sentiment as well, which is good. You know, if you want rates to get cut, a lower interest rate sentiment is good. So Meta platform is down after the company's delaying the rollout of its flagship AI model. I think that actually Pawn sent me this morning. Its new AI flagship model, Behemoth, is delayed amid development challenges, sitting Meta's down as much as 3.6% yesterday and over 2% on the day. Yeah, that ain't good for Meta. But yeah, Meta, you can see, had a big dip. We had Tesla appointing Jack Hartung CMG to board effective June 1st. So they anointed a new board member, appointed a new board member. I can't talk right now. I gotta drink more coffee, I guess. We also had some other big news that happened. In other big news this morning, Foot Locker, of course, got acquired yesterday. You can see how much is gapping up with Foot Locker. It got acquired by Dick's Sporting Goods, DKS. DKS is actually reacting negatively to this. People didn't like it, but Foot Locker's reacting favorably to this. Coinbase went down almost 8% on news of a cyber attack disclosed in its regulatory filings before paring losses to about 4% by close. So it rebounded a little bit, but still down a little bit from the cyber attack announcement that happened earlier in the week. You know, another big story, United Health has been down massively here. You know, United Health down to 240s. Now at 280s, Wall Street reported, the Wall Street Journal reported the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating the insurer of United Health for possible criminal Medicare fraud, marking its lowest share price in 5 years. So United Health has just gotten absolutely hammered down here, absolutely hammered down. We also had Cisco report earnings yesterday. And yeah, this was not last night. I think this was yesterday. But after they beat expectations on both revenue and earnings, so they're jumping up. I'm pretty sure here was when their earnings came out. So this was on the 14th. So what was that? Wednesday. This was on Wednesday. Bro, the biggest problem I have with ChatGPT is, oh, I need to go to 4.0, bro. I got 4.0 mini. That's probably why it's taking so freaking long, dude. But yeah, that's the biggest stock market news stories of yeah. Somebody said, hey, I just signed up to this class. This isn't really a class, bro. We're just hanging out, dude. I am not teaching anybody anything. We're just talking about finance and what's going on in markets. Yeah, we got UMich, consumer sentiment and inflation expectations today. We're going to cover that around 10. Prior to that, yeah. But we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure what we're going to get for that. We'll see. Here's Cisco. Again, you can take a look at like Tesla. Tesla's still been up a lot. Like Tesla's had a huge resurge back up. Professor John. I think we might have, wait, what do we have today? I think we have some data at 8:30. I don't think it's big though. I think it's very small, whatever it is. Yeah, we got building permits and housing starts. Not really the biggest. We got import-export price index data too, so none of it's really big. The bigger data is the UMich consumer sentiment and inflation expectations that might actually move the market. I think it's the finalized data, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to check. All right, so again, we are going to post a recap of these 5 stock market stories. Again, Meta down after delaying its flagship model Behemoth due to development challenges that they say. Foot Locker up after a buyout from Dick's Sporting Goods. Fiserv is down 16%. If we look at FI here, look at Fiserv, they're down huge as the company CFO warned that its growth for its Clover point of sale platform is unlikely to improve this quarter. Yeah. All right, so we just posted the 5 biggest stories that might influence the market today on our X page at Beginner Trades. All right, so let me catch back up on chat here. Yeah, UNH is just is a dumpster fire right now. It's honestly pretty sketchy. I'm glad I never really invested in it. I'm not a big believer in buying healthcare companies, to be honest. Like, I've never bought a lot of healthcare companies. I've never bought a lot of biotech companies because this is just really sketchy. Not just that, but like, I used to work managing benefits for people, and so I understand how sketchy some of these places are. And so I've never been interested in buying up healthcare companies because there's too much variance in how they can behave. United Health has gotten pumped up huge, so it's interesting to see it like fall down this much. But yeah, I saw a stream covering space earnings and getting excited for $100 a share. Yeah, I mean, look, $100 a share is not out, like, it could happen. It's just not super likely right now. The biggest problem is that like streams like that typically just tell people what they want to hear so that they can grow a following. A lot of those guys, like, I don't even know who it is or what it is, but most of the time these streams are just telling people what they want to hear. And sometimes me saying this makes them mad because it kind of, the truth hurts sometimes, I think. But yeah, space, just super speculative. You know, this is one of those stocks that makes like, there's a couple predictions that I've made that have kind of made me wanted to start a short report. Like, I know Hindenburg short report did it, but there's been a couple stocks that a couple theses on the short side that I've had that have made me want to start a short report. SPCE is one of them, because years ago when SPCE was up huge, like SPCE used to be way up there. It used to be like $20, $30, $40, I think. When it was that high, it might have been higher than that, I don't know. But my thesis on space was that the space industry is incredibly expensive. It's up way too much. The space industry is incredibly hard to monetize correctly. It's hard to rely on that monetization. And this company, I'm not going to put any money in. I just don't like it. And since then, this thing has been terrible as well. If you look at SPCE, this thing has dropped drastically down. And so another one of these companies that I've been very, similar like this is Beyond Meat, BYND. I've been very vocal against Beyond Meat for a long time. The reason I don't like Beyond Meat is because I think vegans are incredibly health conscious. None of them want to experiment with lab-grown meat. They don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's going to do. They don't have the consumer base that they need that are interested enough to buy this regularly and risk their own personal health. And so while I think they vastly overestimated their customer base and the people that would be interested in something like this, and yeah, Beyond Meat has been not a good stock as well. And so I think there's a couple stocks where it's really easy to see that they're not going to work. And I think if you could isolate those and maybe find some short positions, there's some good opportunities to do it. I don't know what that would entail. The only reason I wouldn't start a short report is just the regulatory and filing stuff that would have to go there. Like, the liability would be really high. It'd create a lot of enemies, and I'm not really a big shorter in that regard. Stuff on the short side that heavily. But I think there's a lot of stuff that's really easy to see is not going to work. United Health hit 248 yesterday. It is now 280. You missed the bottom. I'm not trying to attack the bottom, bro. Like, I'm not buying United Health. I don't care how much this thing bounces back, dude. I didn't hold it beforehand. I'm not gonna buy it now. This thing's a dumpster fire, bro. Like, even if it rebounds, it's that the risk doesn't outweigh the reward doesn't outweigh the risk for me for this thing. And so yeah, I'm not trying to buy this bottom. I'm good on that. This thing could keep falling. So good luck if you are, but I'm not doing it. Maybe it goes up. I don't know. MicroStrategy gonna take a dump today? Is it really? Where's Bitcoin at? Bitcoin surging up still. Almost to 105s. Well, United Health, I'm not doing a short report because they're already down huge. I'm probably not gonna do a short report anyway. Honestly, instead of doing a short report, I'd probably just short and not say anything about it if I was going to do it. Which I'm probably not. Hey, good luck, Stock King. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, we'll have to look at what the PE ratio shows and, you know, everything with UNH. I don't know, man. No, this is not sludge. This is good coffee. Can y'all hear the music? You should be able to hear pretty well. Let me know. Let me know if it needs to go up or down. Yeah, Bitcoin's getting closer and closer. We got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment and Inflation Expectation Report at 10 o'clock today. That's probably the biggest one. UMich Consumer Sentiment and Inflation Expectation Report. That's what I'm watching today the most. BlackRock bought 409 million Bitcoin for its ETF yesterday, IBIT. All right, guys. So we had Indian FX reserves come out. All right, so ADNOC says strategic agreements announced will potentially enable the $60 billion of U.S. investments in UAE energy projects. Looking at some other news again. We do have building permits and housing start date at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is in about 55 minutes or so. About 55 minutes. I'm looking at some other news that's coming out today. I don't really see too much. Tom Lee and Fundstrat says Bitcoin should have the same network value as gold at 23 trillion, which would make Bitcoin 1 to 1.5 million at least, according to Tom Lee. But yeah, Bitcoin getting up there. Outside of that, the news is pretty light. University of Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. We got housing starts, building permits at 8:30. Import-export price index at 8:30. So we got some stuff going on at 8:30 today. Next week is very slow, just not a lot going on. Oh, we got the Fed Listens event next week. Jerome Powell's not speaking at Fed Listens this week, man. I guess not. We'll see if they update this, but we got the Fed Listens event this year or next week. Sometimes they update us on the economy, so we'll have to watch for that. Maybe it already happened. Okay, as part of the outreach effort, the Federal Board will host a research conference on May 15th to 16th with speakers and panelists from outside the Federal Reserve System. Yeah, let me look at the FOMC calendar. So when was the FOMC meeting? That was last week, right? So again, in that regard, we got a couple weeks before. Okay, so we do have Powell speaking Sunday at 2:40. This upcoming Sunday at 2:40. No, I'm sorry. This is next Sunday at 2:40. Weird. We'll cover it, and then we got the Fed meeting, the Fed minutes report in 2 weeks. Okay, just tracking everything. Earnings today are pretty light this morning, guys. We don't have a lot of big earnings. We got like Flower Foods, RBC, a couple other small ones, but nothing really major here. Earnings season's kind of going to the end. The big thing that we got going on this month and in a couple weeks is Nvidia. Nvidia earnings are going to be chaos. I believe they're the 28th for Nvidia. I'm pretty sure they're the 28th. Yeah. So we got Nvidia and Salesforce earnings on the 28th as well as. So honestly, it's kind of a huge day because Wednesday, May 28th, we have Nvidia, CRM, C3 AI, and more. So we got three major, it's like AI day for earnings. Again, this is going to be May 28th. May 28th is like AI day for earnings. We got Nvidia, Salesforce, C3 AI, and more. So yeah, that's a big day. We'll see what happens. We got some other overseas news coming on, but that's pretty slow too. Are you guys buying United Health? Let me do a poll. What's a good poll today? Let's do a rate cut poll. I think a rate cut poll makes the most sense. When does the FOMC cut rates? June? July? September? Let me check. What's the option after September? Hold on. It is October plus. So June, July, September, October plus. That's the option. Vote on the poll. Let me know how you feel. I think, honestly, there might be an argument for a dip buy in UNH. I'm just not taking it. There might be an argument in a dip buy for UNH. I'm just not taking it. Yeah, it's just, I think it's down enough and it's probably going to be fine. And so, just to clarify, I'm not going to take it, personally. Michael who? Good Friday morning, Beach Bum. What's up, dude? I like that $400 call for a UNH. $400 is a little far-fetched short term, I think. But maybe. It could happen, I guess. I put on a trade in UNH yesterday. Put credit spread. September. July. Yeah, I mean, looking at the odds right now for rate cuts, it's looking more and more likely that it's going to be September plus. It could happen by July. In order for it to happen by July, though, we need really weak economics followed by we need really weak economic data followed by good inflation data. So we need low inflation and weak economics to justify earlier cuts. Just to put this into perspective, and what you need for the Federal Reserve to cut rates. In order to cut rates, you need weak economy, strong, and low inflation. You know, like what gives the Fed the green light to cut rates? A weak economy. The Fed's going to say, okay, we might need to lower rates because the economy's weak. Let's stimulate it through lowering rates. That's number one. Number two is we need inflation to be under control. If we don't have price stability, the Fed's not going to cut rates. So, but again, as of now, it's looking about 52% likelihood that we're going to cut by 25 basis points by September. 22% chance we cut by 50, 1.6% chance we cut by 75, and a 24% chance that we don't cut at all even in September. So a cut's looking more likely of at least 25. But you never know. We'll see what happens. It could always change. To be honest, it could always change and go back and forth and go up and down and whatever. So it could certainly always change. You don't think they cut on low inflation alone? Well, I mean, we've had lower inflation data. PPI was low yesterday. PPI inflation was low yesterday. CPI was low on Tuesday. PCE was relatively low the last time it showed up. So we've had low inflation data. The Fed's going to argue we don't have weak economics to follow it, though. Like, payrolls have been decent, stronger than expected. Like, we just haven't had, like, a super weak economy, especially with the tariff news that we got. Now, if the tariffs kick in and stuff starts to turn bad, then I think we're going to see rate cut odds go up. But Michael Burry, 100 million short on Nvidia. Yeah, I think that's a crazy short, personally. Tanvir, I think that's a crazy short, bro. Shorting Nvidia by 100 million. Again, Michael Burry's problem is this. He got one market crash right. He got like one out of like three. You know, the problem is that he's overpredicted crashes since 2007, 2008. He's a genius. He predicted the 2007, 2008 market disaster. The issue is that now he wildly overpredicts them. He's predicted about 30 market crashes since then. And we definitely haven't had 30. He's wildly overpredicted them since then. And I get it. He's scorned. He's incredibly biased now against market strength. But he refuses to look at the statistical edge that markets give you, which is on the upside. Honestly, I think Michael Burry probably takes more long positions than you think, actually. So I think he probably takes advantage of the statistical edge on the upside. He just makes it, I think he understands how public sentiment can help shorts. And so he's very vocal about the times he does short, just to give him credit. If we're looking at pure public perception, maybe, but I'll give him a little bit of credit. I think he probably longs more things than he tells us. But yeah, in that context of shorting Nvidia 100 million, I think it's super risky, hella risky. And if he shorted it any time prior to the last 3 weeks, he's probably in a really bad spot if he's been shorting Nvidia 3 weeks ago, because it's up a lot. Nvidia's up to, where's it at right now? Nvidia's up to 130s, almost 140s, getting close to all-time highs again at 150s. You know, all-time highs for Nvidia are at 153. We're getting back up there. So he's in a pretty rough spot if he shorted this prior to the last 2 weeks, because it's up a lot in 2 weeks. Yeah, and like I'm saying, like, I like Michael Burry. I just think that, and I can't really knock him when he proved a lot of people wrong when he was right in 2008. His best friend sued him, and then he ended up making that same best friend like hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. You know, no better way to shut somebody up than make them $1 billion in something that they were wildly wrong in. And so I get it. But I think at the same time, you got to look at Michael Burry and say, dude, you've won. Like, it's not going to be you're not going to be able to consistently predict market crashes. It's not that easy to, brother. It's just not that easy, man. There's too many variables, and it's just not that easy. And maybe he can, and maybe he'll shut me up. I don't freaking know, man. But shorting the strongest AI company in the world in a period of time in which AI is about to take off even more and more and more, I don't like that short at all. And maybe I'll be wrong here. I don't freaking know. You know, I think there's easier shorts to get involved with that aren't Nvidia. I think that's a crazy short. Powell speaking live this morning. So we already covered the policy review yesterday. So we've already covered that. Today we don't really have much going down. Whew. All right, guys. Sometimes you just gotta breathe. Yeah, I don't think Powell's speaking. Yeah, I don't think there's anything today with him. I'm usually on that stuff too, so I just don't think there's anything big today. All right, guys. Yeah, Nvidia's up there. Gold's still breaking down, so gold's looking really weak this morning as the market strength continues into today. Yeah, we streamed Powell yesterday. We don't really have much going on next week, to be honest here, man. I don't think we have any big earnings either. So next week is pretty boring. I'm looking at earnings too. I really don't see anything big. We got like Home Depot, Target earnings. Hey, bro. How you doing, man? Good. I love you, dude. Hey. All right, guys. Sorry, something came in here. All right, yeah. So Target is on Wednesday next week. We got snow, S-N-O-W. That might move stuff. We'll cover that. We've got some other stuff too, but next week's honestly really slow. The only real busy day we got is Thursday. It's been a slow month and a half for economic reports. It's been weird because like my normal streams have gained so much, like they've doubled in interest. Like even right now we've got like 700 people here almost. It's not even 8 a.m. And so my normal streams have gotten a lot of attention. But for whatever reason, the way they've scheduled economic reports throughout this last month has been strange. So next week we got like, and honestly, it's weird. It's like next week's slow. The week after next is big. It's like crazy busy. We got like Nvidia earnings, GDP data, PCE data. Like the last week of the month, 26th. We've got durable goods, Case-Shiller house price index, CB consumer confidence data, GDP data, PCE data, Nvidia earnings, Jerome Powell speaking. And then I'm pretty sure the week after that's pretty busy too. Like June, early June. Yeah, early June we got ISM manufacturing, PMI, JOLTS, non-farm employment change data, I'm pretty sure too. Yeah, payrolls. Alright. You're rated #1 in the nation for daily streams. Ricky says I speak every day to myself. That is. It's probably a sign of a bull run. Nvidia seeing close to 140 today. Maybe. I think the trade deal with India announced next week. Yeah. Is it too early to start the tailgate for Nvidia earnings? Probably. We got the president speaking again, man. He speaks like every day, bro. Every day. I would much prefer him to not speak every day, to be honest. Like, I would much prefer him to, like, speak occasionally with some hype into every speech versus diluting it with a speech every day, you know? That's just me, though. That's just me. Yeah, I don't really see any other big news. Again, today we got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Inflation Expectation Report. I'm curious to see what Nvidia's going to do with their earnings too, man. All right, let's get ready. But we're still trying to get funded on the new Top Step dashboard. Top Step, again, gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. You can also try the 100K challenge or the 150 challenge. I personally just like the 50 one. There's no PDT in futures, so you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell, gold. I haven't tried day trading the Russell very much. Does anybody have success with it? Also, honestly, bro. Okay, we got to test. Honestly, Top Step already started processing my payout. Apparently, I set up ACH and I didn't actually process it, and they immediately approved it. And so they're processing the payout now. I'm just waiting for it to hit. But I'm trying to move over to their new dashboard. But even their old dashboard's quick. Like, we got approved very quickly on our new dashboard. And so yeah. Okay, let me check this. Okay. All right. Lisan. Yeah. All right, chat. All right, sorry guys, bear with me. I gotta kind of take pictures of some stuff. There we go. I already did the W9, but I'll do it again. Look at NVIDIA break highs of the day. We're up to 137s here. Gold starting to rebound back up a little bit. China bans poultry imports from Brazil after some other stuff that went down. I'm gonna just send this way. Oh man, be safe, Paul, and hope you're safe, brother. Yes, be safe, Pawn. Here, let me open up Discord, bro. I didn't open it up. Look at everything pop up, though. NASDAQ pop it up. We're going to get ready to start trading on their new dashboard. I guess it doesn't let me save things. This will have to be good enough. Okay, we're done, basically. Sorry, guys. I had to upload some payout information again for some reason. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Yes, that's it. Okay, sorry guys, confirming one thing with my top step payout, and then we're done. Honestly, they did process it pretty quick though. There it is. Confirm email. All right, cool. All right, we're all done. All right, sorry guys, now I can talk about markets here. Let me know if the music's loud enough. This is kind of my old playlist, so we're listening to my old playlist. Can you check Tesla and give your opinion if exactly 4 hours ago that seemed like institutional buying on Tesla? Let me take a look. I mean, something happened 4 hours ago for sure. I think this might have been the new appointment of a new, hold on. Let me delve deeper into this. I don't know if it's institutional buying or not, but that's a big move up here for Tesla. I think it's probably news related. I know we got the news earlier that Tesla had anointed a new board member. They appointed Jack Hartung from Chipotle to the board effective June 1st, 2025. So they appointed Okay, so optimism around the robotaxi launch. Investors are enthusiastic about Tesla's upcoming robotaxi service, slated to debut in June in Austin. The initiative is perceived as significant growth opportunity, potentially expanding their footprint in autonomous rides. Broader optimism fueled by easing trade tensions in the U.S., basically helping the market go up. Analysts upgraded their price target for Tesla as well. So it could be the appointment of the Chipotle guy to their board causing Tesla to increase. I'm guessing that's probably what it is, but who knows? It could be anything. Yeah, that's probably what it is. This is across multiple stocks at the same time. Let's try to identify the sector here. So Nvidia ripped up, and you can see the volume increase at 3 a.m. as well. So it wasn't just Tesla. This is Nvidia up there. We can take a look at Apple. Apple got a little surge at 3. I mean, 3 a.m. is when buyers start to wake up anyway, but looks to be microchip related, though. Looks to be microchip related. I'm still delving deeper into it, guys. Yeah, I'm still looking at why. You can see AMD rip up, gold come down a little bit too. Look at gold come down. AMD too. Yeah, I see AMD up. It was on Palantir and Nvidia as well, exactly the same time. Yeah, Palantir did have a squeeze out. All of it's right around 3 a.m. my time, which is about 4 a.m. market time. Grape-sized hail. Hey, good luck, bro. Stay safe, dude. Off topic, I'm still mad that my vet wouldn't. Yeah, honestly, I don't like vets, Sam. Honestly, my dog Bruce has like skin problems. Like he has very allergy ridden skin. Always itching. You know, we want to get him an allergy shot, but we feel like our vet's taking advantage of him. So like we should be able to dip in, get the allergy shot for Bruce and leave. Instead, they always insist on scheduling a appointment with them. Like, I'm not talking about an appointment just to get the allergy shot. I'm saying they basically insist that every single month we want to get the allergy shot, that we have to take him in and have them look him over. And it's like, bro, they've told us the same thing every single time, but if you schedule an appointment, it's like $100 more. And so it's basically like the allergy shot's already $250 a month. And if we could just dip in and get the shot and leave, that's one thing. But instead, they insist on us scheduling an appointment. They're just milking money from us is what they're doing. And so, vets, man. No, I love Bruce. Bruce is a great dog, super nice. Unless you're a stranger in our house. But that's what he's supposed to do, is bark at you. Microsoft correction? Microsoft's not really moving that much this morning, to be honest here. It's a little slower. Yeah, well, they already removed the money from my Top Step account here, so that's good. Where's the new dashboard, though? I want the new dashboard. There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we got the new dashboard in the books here. Honestly, we've had such a strong upward trend. Here, I'll put this up. We've had such a strong upward trend here. I'm still working on getting funded in the new dashboard. I lost my challenge yesterday. Got so close. I mean, I needed like $1,000 more, but I did lose it, unfortunately. Not happy about it, but that's okay. Squeeze this a little bit more so we can see both ends. Very strong upward trend though. I'm just gonna wait for like trades to take the 200 exponential moving average. How can you tell the difference between your two dogs' bark? There's a distinct difference between the two of them. Bruce's bark is very low pitched, always very low pitched, very deep bark, and he likes to just bark at everything. It's usually one big bark, like one big deep bark. Rosie's bark is a little bit higher pitched. She's a female, so her bark is a little bit higher pitched, and it's usually multiple barks followed. It's like roo, 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 roo for Rosie. Bruce is just one big, deep bark most of the time. All right, so NASDAQ just broke highs of the day. I think, or no, yeah, this is highs of the day. So NASDAQ just broke highs of the day again. We're a little too sideways for me to want to attack this. It's just up a little bit too much for me to want to attack this trend. And so I'm going to wait. If we get a pullback to the 200 exponential, I'll try it. If that doesn't work, we'll switch to something else. Today's not triple witching. Is it? No. So no. So the next triple witching is going to be June 20th. For this year, it's March 21st, June 20th, September 19th, and December 19th. So it's not in May. Regarding, yeah, it's just not in May. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Frost. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, for Bruce, though, like, y'all have to understand, Bruce is very allergy ridden. Like, he's always scratchy. His skin's very flaky and scratchy, and, like, we give him regular, like, fluconazole and antibiotics to try to help him, but it doesn't work usually. And, yeah, he's just really allergy ridden. And we brought him to the vet multiple times, and they were like, look, you can bring him in here basically every 6 weeks and get him these allergy shots. It did get better during the winter, but he's back now. I think gold might continue to go down if we continue to get market strength, Alan. So as long as the market's strong, gold is going to be less bought up in general. Monthly options expiration day today for those stocks that have monthly options. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. All right, so we're dipping down a little bit. We're looking at 475s. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, we put in a payout. They approved it already. So if you want to check them out, great way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose money. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow. Most day traders are going to lose. It just takes time to learn. And it's a skill you can have for the rest of your life. But if you risk your own money in the beginning, you're probably going to lose thousands of dollars. This is just how it goes. Instead of doing that, try kind of try a better way to learn, which is a funded account program. They give you a 50K demo on the base package. There's also a 100K one or an 150K one, but they give you a 50K demo. It's $50 a month. If you can make 3K in profit on that demo without losing $2,000 first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, which is similar split to funding your own account, by the way. It's 10% difference. You also get to keep your first 10K in profit, so it's very similar to funding your own account in terms of reward. The risk, $50 a month. So you got limited risk, similar reward to funding your own account, and it's just a cheaper way to get started. You don't have to risk as much. In general, traders that are learning how to day trade, they're still risking something. They're still learning how to trade under pressure, which is absolutely key for learning how to trade. But if you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's $50. It's a beautiful way to learn. It's the best way to learn. And Top Step's the most legit in the world. They've paid out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. And if you use Top Step X, their new dashboard processes payouts quick. And zero commission on Top Step X. So the edge is huge. And again, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up in chat. I'll also pin it to the top of the page. I am biased because I get paid by them and they're a sponsor of mine. So I am biased in their favor. Top 3 most biased in the world, but I genuinely think it's good for traders. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. But if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. There's the link right there. Also, again, I'll pin it to the top of the chat. NASDAQ continues to break highs, but it's not breaking them in a significant enough way to make me interested in them. So again, I wouldn't mind a deeper pullback, but up here it's too high. I don't like buying high at the day breakouts. I don't like shorting low at the day shorts. Yeah, I don't like doing any of that stuff. I would much prefer to just kind of wait for dips and pullbacks to attack the trend and the range here. So we're gonna sit tight. We'll draw some levels up though. Let's put some levels on the charts. All right, we got the 200 exponential here, and then we also have like this low and some confirmation. So I'm gonna put one here. We got this isolated high up here at 480s. We got another one though at 488s. We kind of keep chopping over that, so I'm just gonna wait here. I think this is a big level too. Where's 50? 50's right here. I think 40 is honestly a better level. Maybe 35s. I'm gonna put it right here. Could also be 45s or 50s right there, I guess too. But I'll wait. And then we keep breaking this high up here. We got 500s, which is what I think it wants. So 21 5s right there. So these are the 3 levels I have on my chart right now. We'll see how these move. Alright, guys. What happened overnight? Yeah, a lot of stuff's up big overnight. Amazon at 206s. We got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Inflation Expectation Report live 10 a.m. today. Be ready, guys. Looking at our poll numbers, we asked people, when does the Fed cut rates? 28% of people think September, which is most probable as of today. Outside of that, it's June. Do you guys really think we're going to cut rates in June? Y'all think we're going to cut them next month? I don't know. The only way we'd get that is if we got really weak economic reports and low inflation data. And so by thinking we're going to cut in June, you're essentially thinking that we're going to have weak economic reports and low inflation leading into that. Maybe so. I don't know. And we got the UMich Consumer Sentiment Report. I don't know how big it's going to be. Sometime maybe. I mean, it might move markets. It might not. We'll see. But I'm going to cover it regardless. Again, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Inflation Expectation Report. House Budget Committee is slated to begin their markup of the reconciliation bill at 9 a.m. today. Yeah, we still got the Thomas Laba research conference going on today. Powell's not speaking though, but we still got that going on today. All right, guys. So again, Amazon up to 206s and a halves. Look, so we're topping that 105. I might short this. I usually don't trade against the trend, but we're gonna take a very small position on our challenge account, so it's a little bit different, I would say. I think I'm a little late on it though. I wish I would have caught this maybe 2 seconds ago, but it's all right. We'll try. Look, I'll show you guys this. There we go. There we go. That's what we wanted. Honestly, the range is so small though. We'll add to it here. 2 mini contracts. There we go. I'm gonna immediately take half off, lock that in. And well, I don't know what I'm gonna do on the rest. We're slightly red now. Or no, we're green, but we're red on this remaining position. We got enough of a breakdown to justify it. Now we're back flat, but it's trying really hard. We'll add to this a little bit more, see if we flush back down. See, now we're right back down here. So again, guys, I wouldn't trade like this on a regular combine account. We're playing with this early in pre-market. Oh, we do have building permits, housing start data going live at 8:30. I forgot about this. So we do have building permits, housing start data. There we go. I'm gonna take half off here and just take that off, and now we're green on the last little part. There we go. I was trying to short 21.5s, but see if we can get a little bit more here. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna cut that right there. So we just made about $125 or so on that trade. Again, shorting 21.5s is what we were shorting. It's just a big psychological level, and we got a big flush down from it. So that's good. Cool. Again, don't copy me though. I'm not an investment professional. I have no idea what's going to happen. Not an investment professional. Top 3 worst trader of all time. Do not copy me. I kind of want to short this as well, but I mean, holding is, it's all subjective. Honestly, you probably have better edge holding longer. Ramen. You probably have a little bit better edge holding longer, personally. Let me change my title, I guess, here to Health starts data 8:30. Alright, so yeah, we got housing starts 8:30. I don't know if I want to short this again. I'll try. It's a little risky, but again, this is a challenge account, so we can just play with it and see what happens. We're green on the day too, so we got a little cushion. It's definitely a weird market to short though. Like, look at this. So here's Meta. Meta is one of the big reasons the market's down. Look at Meta. Yesterday, delayed their flagship AI model Behemoth. Huge drops. Microsoft up to 454s. We're slightly green on this trade. Very small. Very slight. Question is, how strong is the market? MicroStrategy, where's that at right now? All right, we got a quick little rejection here. There we go. There we go. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that right there. So, all right, cool. So we got two nice little green trades in the books here. We'll see if we can keep grinding it up. Shorted this little bounce, and that worked really well too. Again, Meta is one of the big reasons we're down. We're also seeing weakness in United Health. We got 5 minutes before housing starts data. I don't know how much this is going to move things. We'll see. Should have held it a little bit longer, but that's all right. It's early in pre-market. We're just trying to play early. Where's SoFi at? I've heard people talk well about SoFi, speak well about SoFi recently, and SoFi is on a churn up here. It's almost up to $14 a share. Hit over 14s yesterday or the day before. Now it is down to 1370s. Still a pretty strong upward trend for SoFi though. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens regarding rate cuts. Again, for me personally, I've explained my bias, and I'm going to call it a bias because that's what it is. It's a bias. My bias is that we do not cut rates. I would much rather rates stay the same and us go into a mini recession than inflation spike out of control. And so it's almost like I have PTSD from the last 5 years from inflation. I do not want to see inflation get worse. Everybody should fear inflation getting worse. And really, I think the reason we see so many people over predicting market crashes is because we've had such massive inflation in 5 years, mixed with them missing out on the bull run in stocks, right? Like, the only way to really hedge against the inflation that we've seen over the last 5 years is to invest your money into something, ride it up with inflation. I think a lot of people were they were so wildly trying to over predict crashes and corrections, and they thought we would crash every year, and then they missed out on some of the hedging that they were supposed to do with inflation by investing into something like stocks, real estate, gold, which have all gone up drastically over the last 5 years. That I think they're kind of big mad about it. They want to believe the market's going to come down, and maybe it does. I don't know, but the point is, I'm fearing inflation more than everything else. I would rather us wait to cut rates and really get inflation under control first. I would rather have a couple years of break-even inflation to compensate for the 8-9% inflation that we got in 2022, 2023, and so forth, versus us have a rolling economy with high inflation. That's my bias, personally, and maybe that's a little selfish of me. I don't know, but that's my bias. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half left. Housing starts are expected today. Again, housing starts are expected today. Yeah. Housing starts expected today at 1.36 million. 1.36 million. We got about a minute left. About a minute left for housing starts. 1.36 million is what's expected. We also have University of Michigan inflation expectation and consumer sentiment report. But yeah, that's what housing starts are expected at 1.36 million. They drop in about 45 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button if you want to watch this. We'll see how it goes. What's up, Alan? Stronger economy could make inflation worse, not better. That's the problem. That's what I fear personally. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's selfish of me. I just don't want to see prices go up anymore. I'd rather us have a few break-even years of inflation. All right, chat. Here we go. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, 4. I don't think this is going to move markets, just to clarify. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. And here's the report. Housing starts. Import-export price index showed up at positive 0.1 versus minus 0.4 expected. Housing starts showed up higher than expected, slightly higher than expected at 1.361 versus 1.36 expected. Export price index showed up a little bit better than expected. So building permits showed up weaker than expected, though, at 1.41 million versus 1.45 million expected. Housing starts showed up higher than expected, which is good. Kind of mixed data, but I would say it's kind of good. Again, import price index a little bit better than expected. Or maybe a little bit, yeah. Export price index. Showed up a little bit higher than expected. Market's kind of underwhelmingly reacting to this. We'll put it up in chat, but building permits 1.412 million. We'll put that up in chat as well. But yeah, that's what just dropped. Building permits, housing start data. Building permits weak. Housing starts slightly strong. I would say slightly strong. Whoa. Look at this drop. Something just happened. Whoa. It's not Meta. Could be Nvidia, I guess. Tesla. Apple. Am I zoomed in too much or something? What's causing this drop? It's not the building permits or housing start data. Here, I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. It's a big candle. Biggest candle we've seen all morning, really. Yeah, biggest candle we've seen all day. I don't know what this is from. I'm trying to look at stocks to see what the driver of this is. Let me know if you find it in chat right now. The drops are still happening here, chat. Be careful right now. Something just turned the market down. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah. No, it's not a post by him that I can see here. I'm looking at it now. It's not that. Something just dropped markets, though. We'll get it eventually, chat. Hold on. Okay, so the Russian delegation is said to demand control over 5 Ukraine regions during talks with Ukraine and Istanbul. Could be the U.S. import-export price control report as well. Let me look deeper into this, chat. Hold on. All right, market is down pretty significantly here on this news report. Wow. I'm going to try to buy this up. It's definitely risky, though. We're just tapping the 200 exponential as of now. I would be very careful still, though, chat. There we go. We're going to ride this up. We're just going to cut it right there. Market's a little volatile right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the news was. Again, we'll see. It's the largest candle we've seen all morning. And so we can act like it's not small TD, but it's the largest drop we've seen all day for the most part. Tell me a candle bigger than this one that we've had this morning. On the downside especially. And so usually a candle like this is news related. Still over the 200 EMA though, but still. Yeah, usually this is catalyst driven, Sam, for sure. It doesn't mean it is, but usually it is. So non-fuel import prices jumped 4.4%, the largest increase in months, driven by capital goods, industrial supplies, consumer goods, and vehicles. This could signal renewed input cost pressure and inflation concern by the Fed. Capital goods import prices rose 0.6%, the largest gain since January 2022, suggests higher costs of business equipment and tech may pressure margins in capital-intensive sectors, and consumer goods import prices rose 0.3%, the first monthly rise since October of 2024. Could feed CPI inflation. That could be the root cause of this, but we'll see. Markets are still down. Something happened in markets. It could be in individual stocks, though. Apple's not really down. Meta's turning a little bit, though, on the downside. Could be Meta. Google's up pretty big still. AMD just turned down. Nvidia turned down. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, technical patterns aren't going to move markets much in any like big significant data. Yeah, let me look up. So I'm seeing some news. President news. Let's see. All right, market's still falling down some here. Brazil Agriculture Ministry states yeah, so I'm looking at this article. Okay, so I do see this article that says the president says U.S. will set tariff rates for some of its trading partners, a move that suggests Washington lacks the capacity to reach individual trade deals with lots of countries. The president said U.S. will send letters to some of its trading partners to unilaterally impose new tariff rates, suggesting that Washington lacks the capacity to reach these individually. This might be the cause of the drop. I saw a lot of people mention this. I think we accidentally deleted one comment we shouldn't. But and I think the person was actually right about the news, highlighting the challenge for the White House to negotiate deals with hundreds of countries at once. The president said it was, quote, not possible to meet the number of people that want to see us. He said, quote, we have at the same time 150 countries that want to make a deal, but you're not able to see that many countries. The president said that his Treasury Secretary Bessent and Howard Lutnick would be sending, quote, letters out essentially telling some of Washington's trading partners that tariff rates would be imposed on their goods exports to the U.S. market. He said, quote, at a certain point over the next 2 weeks, I think Scott and Howard will be sending letters out essentially telling people will be very favorable, will be telling people what they'll be paying to do business in the U.S. This could be the news driving markets down. This is the most plausible news story as of now because it doesn't seem to be impacting individual stocks. It seems to mostly be impacting the broad market, but who knows? We'll see. Apple's not really down that much. Apple fell a little bit, but it's actually been rebounding over the past few minutes here. So I don't really know about Apple. I'm going to short the 200 exponential here and cut it if it rips up. Pushed over the 200 EMA, and now we're kind of testing it here, but I'll cut this if it starts to push too much. There we go. Now I'll just hold the rest break even. We'll see if we get a flush breakdown. There we go. We'll cut that right there. Very quick gains for me. On that one, very quick gains. That 200 EMA level is powerful. So we'll take that. Very good. All right, guys. So yeah, market rejected that 200 EMA. This is why I watch it really closely here. This level right here. It just makes sense to watch it, I think. Yeah, I see some Charter news. Their CEO says they'll deploy Spectrum TV on third-party devices like Roku, Apple TV, and various smart TV manufacturers in the Cox footprint. Housing numbers were not all down. Housing numbers were up. They might have been down relative to what they were last time. But housing starts were stronger than expected. A little bit stronger than last time, too. Last time they should have been 1.33 million. This time they should have been 1.36 million. So a little bit stronger than expected. Export and import prices came out, too. The big thing right now we got is the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Inflation Expectation Report going live at 10 o'clock. That might move markets, too. But something very, I mean, people can act like this isn't a big move, but something very clearly turned the markets on the downside here. Like, look at this. I mean, this is very obvious. Something turned the markets starting right here. Very quickly. Largest red candle of the day. All right, so we are breaking down a little bit. All right, we're still breaking down here too. NASDAQ turned. A lot of stuff coming down. Microsoft coming down. Apple's still holding pretty strong though. Meta falling down a little bit, testing lows of the day. So we'll see if that continues down. Yeah, I don't know about like a short at the 200 EMA again. We bounced it back up some, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I thought I had Discord up already. I must have exited out of it. Let me see. Sorry, Pawn. Pershing Square takes new stake in Uber. Ozempic, Novo Nordisk boost CEO. Yeah, I mean, NVO is down. Novo. But I don't think this is driving this drop. I mean, Novo and United Health are all down pretty significantly here. But, take a look at Uber. Uber's pretty quiet too, though. It's at almost $100 a share for Uber. Yeah, you can join our Discord right there. What, Sam? What comment, bro? I gotta find your last comment, Sam. I don't see a comment from yours in a while. What did you say? Still scrolling. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh. Unless I missed it. Oh. When was this data collected and pertaining to? For what? Yeah, I mean, I was shorting markets too. Be okay. I mean, an almost 1% drop in 10 seconds is not small, John Foley. I mean, we can act like it's small. It's not huge, but it's definitely worth looking into. Something turned the market down pretty quickly here, you know. I mean, it's definitely worth looking into, but I'm not screaming and yelling and freaking out. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. I think it's pretty understandable. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure which one, Sam. Yeah, you can join our Discord. It's right there, completely free. Doesn't cost anything. I mean, yeah, there doesn't need to be a catalyst. The market's the market. It could be variance, like there could be a lot of variance in what causes big moves like this. Could be a lot of selling showing up for whatever reason. What we do know is that a lot of selling showed up. It doesn't mean there has to be some big broad catalyst and everything. That's not what I'm saying either. Although it's definitely more probable that it's a big it's some type of catalyst drop. The larger the candle is and the more sudden of the reaction it is, the more probable it is to be a big catalyst, you know. And again, you guys know me, like my whole thing is like technical traders tend to loop everything into technicals. You know, like, oh, it's the 1228 EMA crossover breakdown, you know. And like that might be true sometimes, but if you get a big drop like that, where it's the largest red candle of the day, typically it's catalyst driven, you know, especially that fact that we continued down afterwards in the downside. So something happened in markets. I don't know what it was. It could be a technical move. That's possible as well. I have no idea, you know, no idea. You think UNH is worth looking at? I think there might be an argument for a dip buy. But I'm not going to take it personally. But I think there probably is a good argument for a dip in UNH. Yeah, the tariff news that we got is another potentially root cause of it. Again, the president declared that the U.S. will independently establish new tariff rates for a lot of their different partners, bypassing traditional bilateral and multilateral trade negotiations. And they'll send letters to the respective countries. This news could be driving stuff, and there's a lot of sources on this. Economic Times, Guardian, Financial Times, a bunch of different people said this. So this could be what's driving it. This came out roughly at 8:30. Roughly at 8:30 that I'm showing. And so yeah, I mean, that is the most likely one, and for me right now, I could be wrong. You know, I could be wrong. And again, I'm just trying to cover the big news that shows up on markets every day. So yeah. Okay, gotcha, Omni. Was there really, Daniel? Earthquake news? That could drive it too. I really don't know. I just think like this looks like it's catalyst driven. You never freaking know though. Who knows? All right, guys, and remember, stick around. We got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Data report. All right, yeah, we got consumer sentiment inflation expectation report going live at 10 a.m. We're going to cover that. That's the next big report that we got going on today. Yeah. What else we got? Yeah, we got the tariff news happening. Market's still falling down too. That could be what this is. All right, NASDAQ still dumping down to 21.4s here, Chad. 21.4s. I mean, it looks weak right now. It looks like red momentum's in here, but I'm just waiting. I got to pick my shots, I think, a little bit. All right, so we're still kind of breaking down some. Do y'all like long or short here? We did a poll asking people when they think we're going to cut rates. June and September are pretty much split down the middle. Just woke up while we're dumping. No, we're trying to figure that out. Most likely because there's trade uncertainty with the letter news that the U.S. is going to send some countries letters and just tell them what we're going to do versus negotiating with them. Yeah, you might be right, Omni, about the news. I don't know. Even if it's an old story, it could still move markets if it's kind of got more attention this morning. But like I said, I don't know, bro. Maybe. Hey, what's up, Vegas? Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I kind of want to buy this, but I also think we could. The momentum's certainly on the downside. But I kind of want to buy it. I don't know. We get back over 450, maybe I'll buy it. I'm gonna wait. Where's gold at? Gold up a little bit short term. Makes sense, I guess. You have to share this beat. This beat is called Miami Work by DJ Denz. D-E-N-Z. It's called Miami Work. This is my old playlist. I got a whole bunch. I've got like days worth of songs. Just like beats on this playlist. Just kind of old. Like I've been running this stream for a long time, so it's just kind of like an old playlist that I've had for a long time. Yeah, we also kind of covered some of the stuff that they did in the import and export price index report. Non-full import prices jumped 0.4%, the largest increase in months. Capital goods import prices rose 0.6%, the largest monthly gain since January of 2022, so years. Consumer goods import prices rose 0.3%, the first monthly rise since October of last year. Could cause inflation worries. That could be what's driving this, is the consumer sentiment on the price increases for capital goods and consumer goods that imports. That could be what's driving the fear, and if the market fears inflation and wants rate cuts, this is bad for both. And so maybe that's what's driving this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree we're up a lot over the past. We're up a lot over the past couple weeks. NASDAQ, just in the last few weeks, is up a huge amount. Yeah, starting in May, we're up a big percentage. Let's see, we're up from 19 to 21. So we're up about 10% in the last 2 weeks. And the NASDAQ, I would say that's a lot. Is that right, 10%? I'm trying to do the math in my head. I think it is. From 19.5 to 21.5, it's about 20%, right? Or no, about 10%, I mean. Yeah, it's exactly 10%. Okay, good. 10.2%. So yeah, we're up about 10% in 2 weeks, which is a big amount for the stock market. That's why I like, it's funny, people try to isolate different things here, but they're like, bro, it's just a 0.7%. or 0.6%. It's like, okay, so it's almost a full percentage point in 30 seconds when the market average is 10% a year. You're telling me almost 1% move in 20 seconds is not like a decent move short term? Of course it is, you know. I swear, people on the internet just argue just to argue. Look at this drop right here too. So we got another big red candle. I'm glad I didn't buy this up. Breakthrough in power efficiency set to open research center in Shanghai. Yeah, maybe. Kramer said negativity is not a great strategy. Uh-oh. I don't like Kramer. I mean, I like Kramer. I think Kramer is an OG of the stock market. And so I do like Kramer. But man, is he wrong about a lot of stuff. Okay, say a market maker sells a couple of hundred contracts at the highs. That can cause big stop losses to add seller pressure. Then reactive traders jump in, aka snowball. That's what I think happened. Yeah, it's possible, Sam. It's definitely possible. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Freddie. Nothing about that. I don't know if he's speaking today. I'm not really following. He speaks too much for me to kind of follow. I gamble bought one contract on micro NASDAQ around 1 a.m. Sold it right before that big red candle. Finally in green day. That's pretty good. I'm sure you're probably up pretty big if you bought it right at the start of the day and you wrote it up. We had some pretty big moves leading into right now. So good job, bro. Probably pretty solid. A lot of people asking me about UNH, man. It's a dumpster fire right now, but it's probably kind of cheap as well. So I don't know. I'm not buying it personally. I've said it a couple times today. Just whenever fraud stuff comes out, you know, it's bad. But I also think that big money is into this and they don't want it to fail. And so it's going to get propped up a little bit too. Probably will bounce back. I don't know though. Not an investment professional. Hey, what's up, Matt? Thank you, sir. I enjoy your channel. Keep it up. And I trade mostly crypto. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bitcoin. Speaking of crypto, under 104s in Bitcoin futures, but still doing pretty good. Getting closer to all-time highs in Bitcoin. We'll see what happens there. Hey, you probably get some pretty good trades, Daniel. Using that very simple, longer term kind of the way they describe it is like a swing trade, day trade. It's like it's a day trade, but it's more of like a swing trading strategy where you're trying to ride up longer term market trends. And as long as you can kind of follow it and maybe get into like trailing stops and stuff like that, I think it's fine. You just got to remember to close it and not hold it overnight. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into that, Mr. B. I don't know. I try to attack trends and levels and stuff, but top 3 worst day trader ever. All right, I'm looking at 7.5 right here. We got this low, this super isolated low right here. I'm gonna look at it right at like 425s actually is where I'm gonna put this. 425 is right here. We also have 415s down here though. The New York Stock Exchange turns 233 years old. It actually does on May 17th, tomorrow. What about Google? I like Google long-term. Short-term, I have no idea what it's going to do. Google's quantum chip seems really powerful. I like Google long-term. Short-term, who knows? But long-term, I think Google's solid. But again, I'm not an investment professional. I might crash tomorrow for all I know. Don't copy me. No idea. But I like it. What are your thoughts on a recession? Well, we need 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters, which we're not seeing yet. I think the tariff update that we got over the weekend from the Geneva meet is going to be really optimistic regarding recessions and the like prior to the news over the weekend, it was looking more and more likely. GDP was contracting more and more quarter after quarter to a point in which last time I think it only showed up at 0.3%. It's starting to look a little weak and getting trending closer to negative. But I think with the 90-day pause to tariffs, it's going to make GDP probably get better. And it's looking less likely that we're going to hit a recession, but you never know. All right, guys, 25 minutes until the market opens. Nasdaq's starting to rebound back up. Here's the 200 EMA at 460. We're right at 450s here. This might be a level 2. I think I want to short this, actually. We got a big cushion on the day, though, so we can short this. If we end up breaking over 54s, I'll cut it. I've been really selective with this account all morning. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay, so we took a $65 loss. That's our first loss of the day. Or no, I'm sorry. It's our second loss of the day. Still up hundreds on the day. We might keep dropping down too, to be honest here. Do I want to short this again? I might jump right back in this. Hold on, let me see. I'll try it. It's a risky trade here, but sometimes when we have a big down wick like this, we can get some edge. Let's see. And sometimes my best trades are trades where I jump right back in after I'm wrong, but sometimes my worst trades are too. All right, we're slightly green now. Really struggling though. We're kind of flat as of now. And it looks like we're wrong again. Let's give it one more second. Shouldn't have given it one more second, it looks like. Maybe so. Hold on, let's see. Waiting. There we go. I'm gonna get out mostly flat right here, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it right there, mostly flat. I just don't, I'm gonna wait. We've been really selective all morning, and so I'll wait and find some better trades, I think, here, and trade our funded accounts, which we're both positive on. And maybe we'll trade off stream a little bit if we want. We got the 200 EMA right above us here. Just depends on if this eases some of the tension that goes on in markets right now. I don't mind shorting this 200 EMA level, but I do want to wait a little bit too. Hold on, we'll see. Yeah, in the end, it's a challenge account, so like if we lose on this one, we're waiting to trade our actual funded account. I don't want to push too heavy into this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna cover. So we did just jump back in. Look at that. I'm gonna get out right there. So we just made it right back. We're back up hundreds and hundreds on the day. I will leave it alone now. We got the rejection at the 200 EMA. I didn't want to let it fake me out some, and so that's why sometimes my better trades are trades where I'm stubborn with it. It depends on what we see though. Maybe a little bit too risky there, but again, it's a challenge account. Like, it's different than a funded account. It's not the same. We got the effective federal funds rate show up 8 minutes ago at 4.33%, so that's staying the same. U.S. tariffs are set to affect issuers of 2/3 of European leveraged debt in the Fitch ratings that just came out 6 minutes ago. All right, so we did end up pushing up. All right, so we're still tapping that 200 EMA at 460. I'm just gonna wait. No, sentiment data drops at 10 a.m. It's 9:10. Yeah, I'm not sure, Jason. Yeah, I don't know, bro. All right, so we're still sitting right at the 200 EMA. Apple's up. We got Novo down some here. Bro, I can feel it. Carol's buying plants right now, dude. The plant murderer strikes again. All right. Yeah, like I asked Carol, I was like, hey, did you just buy this? And she was like, yeah. But then she started going into like this big story. And I was like, look, baby, I got to go. I can't stay muted this long. I got to go. You know, love you, but I'm leaving. I'm hanging up right now. Carol is a textbook over-explainer. She'll start to explain something, and then she'll go into a deeper story. I don't think I'm necessarily good at it either, but still. All right, so we're back over the 200 EMA. I'm watching 475 right here. I'm also looking at 21.5s up there too. She just needs to use more water. Dude, she better not, bro. Honestly, she's got a whole system set up in her backyard. It's stressing me out. You know? All right, guys. Yeah. Almost to the opening bell. Again, the big story is 45 minutes. We got the UMich consumer sentiment inflation expectation report. I'll put the timer up so we can track it, because we got like 45 minutes now until this report drops. Yeah, we'll do it this way and then this. All right, so here's the timer for the UMich data. I'll put it up right here. If we get underneath the 200 exponential and then rebound back up, I will short this. There we go. Okay, let's see if we retrace back up quick. I will short it. I'll take a couple contracts. There we go. That's 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Don't retrace that much against me. I don't want to add any more to this. Oh my gosh. What a fake out. What happened right there, dude? Okay, I'm going to add back to this, I guess. Dude, if it retraces all the way back up again, dude, That is one of the sketchiest price actions I've seen. This market maker's just dumping down. I blame, oh my gosh, dude. That sucked, guys. I don't know what happened just now. But, dude, look at this candle. Top 3 maddest traders of all time ever in the world right now. Eesh. I did not like that price action at all. Whatever that was weird. We traced all the way up and then it ripped up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mad. Top 3 worst trader of all time right now. I'm sure everybody and their grandmother's going to come out and tell me why that trade was bad now, too. I can just feel it. Yeah. Well, I'm in a challenge account, so, you know, we'll be all right. But, just really weird price action. I mean, you see it a lot, yeah, for sure. But just strange. Usually, like, you get a big dump under the 200 exponential. It's a really good sign on the downside. And I think maybe they knew that. And, you know, I don't know. There's so much variance with trading. We'll give it a little time. If we get back under the 200 EMA, I'll try it again. The only time Einstein's wrong is when he says the definition of insanity is continuously trying the same thing, expecting a different result. I'm pretty sure he's never traded, though. Because if he has, he would know that that doesn't fit with trading. Fits in maybe everything else, though. Yeah, it was a liquidity grab. My grandmother said it was a bad trade. She's top 3 rightest people ever, though, dude. Your grandma's probably telling the truth. Probably was a bad trade, honestly. I mean, it's not even our funded account, though, so, like, we could be wrong and be fine there, to be honest. I think it's probably better to just attack the range today and do something else, because we got a big range, but sideways as well. This was like, it was like this yesterday too. Market's still heading up though. We climbed our way back over the 200 EMA. Yeah, I gotta make fun of myself if I'm wrong, you know. I was confident in that trade too, man. But hey, we're all wrong sometimes. Top 3 worst ever. Apple up to 212s. We'll see if it holds. I'm watching the 7.5 level to see if it holds as resistance now too, but we'll give it time. We'll see. Strange enough, the strength just showed up. Supermicro announces a strategic partnership with DataVolt for AI campuses, initially in Saudi Arabia, with estimated minimum product value at $20 billion. I'm assuming Supermicro is up big. Yeah, Supermicro is ripping up. Look at this. Yeah, and look, here's that 7.5 level too. Kind of goes to show I just gotta wait for my levels to test, because look at that. Should have just attacked that level. Let's see if we retrace back to the 200 exponential. Supermicro's starting to come back down too. So we get like a cup and handles-esque pattern. Yeah, look at that 275 or 475 level. I should just wait for it. That's what I just gotta have the patience for those, I think. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty flat on the day. There's the 200 EMA dip. Look at that drop, too. So it could have been a lot worse. We did get that rejection right at 475, man. Now we'll see if we get a bounce. It's a big, fast drop, though. So we'll see if we retrace again all the way back up. We got a big wall of buyers right there for some reason. It's the second time it's done it. It's right at the 200 EMA now, though. So it's trying to get over it. Let's see if it holds. Yep, look at that hold right at the 200 EMA. Looks strong. It bounced right there, but let's see if it test 475 again. Look at it headed right back up. I think Super Micro is gonna test 50 today, maybe. China bands, chicken. I don't think that move would, I mean, I'm looking at it to maybe see if it influences markets. There's 475 again. I never do the retest, though. Like, I don't want to attack the retest on it. It's too much. This looks way too strong. You know, let's see if it holds a bit. Looks way too strong. John, what are your thoughts on the Fear Greed Index? How could it be used in investing? What do you mean? I mean, we can look at it to see like gold prices and how equities go up. Obviously, like more strength is better, you know. But like also you just got to understand, fearful doesn't always mean you shouldn't buy, you know. Kind of like Warren Buffett says, fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. Just because it's fearful doesn't mean you shouldn't buy. Sometimes the best time to buy are when everybody else is scared, freaking out. So market's starting to move up, though. It's starting to kind of get up there. We're now over 475, so we'll see if we buy or we rebound off of 475 or dump. Kind of whippy right now. This is the song where they just yell random stuff. Physics. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes. All right, 6 minutes. Get a little whippy right before the open, though. Just be careful. 5 minutes. Whoa, look at that drop. Look at this. Wow. Crazy, crazy. All right, guys. Look at that drop. We got 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes. We got the Ukraine president and French president, UK Prime Minister Starmer, Poland PM held a call with US president, according to a spokesperson, apparently. So we will see what we get. Very volatile, though, chat, so just be careful today. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, guys, listen, we haven't even traded our actual funded account today. We've just been trading our challenge account just because I understand top 3 worst trader in pre-market ever. That's why I tell people don't copy me. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's going to like pretend. I'd rather just be real about it and tell people the truth. And, you know, from my own opinion, I'm decent after the opening bell, terrible prior to the opening bell. Usually I got to wait at least 5-6 minutes left before I take any big positions after the open. So it just depends. We got 2 minutes left, chat. 2 minutes left. Yeah, the imbalance hit is what happened. So much selling pressure is what this was. So this is the M market on open. Look at this rip up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are y'all going to get mad at me for saying whoa on this candle, guys? Look at that candle, bro. It's not even the opening bell yet. Yikes. Look at this move, chat. Hope you weren't short. All right, something had to happen, though. China CSRC said they're more tolerant of financial conditions. I don't think that's it. Okay, so the Ukraine Defense Minister Umarov says Russia and Ukraine have agreed to exchange 1,000 POWs from each side. I don't know if that's what's driving this up or what. Here's the opening bell, guys. We got less than a minute until the open. Y'all be careful, man. This is crazy price action ahead of the opening bell. Just very whippy, very sketchy, very back and forth. Just be very, very careful, chat. This price action is chaotic. We went up huge, and then we're down huge too. Now we're retracing all the way back down, just burning accounts. Y'all be careful. Look at that candle. Something happened, dude. Maybe it's the Ukraine news. I really don't know. Here's the opening bell. 15 seconds. $15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the open. All right, there's the bell. Supermicro semiconductors dumping at the opening bell. We're watching Apple up here fall too. Nvidia falling down as well here, chat. Sheesh. All right, look at the red show up. Wow. Deep red right now, chat. Deep red. Looks a little scary, but yikes. We're hitting 21, 245s here. Bouncing right off of this level here, but it looks weak, to be honest. Nvidia's cracking, or looking like it wants to crack lows. Wild opening, though, dude. I don't believe it. The market is a casino for sure. It's just wild. You never know what's going to happen here. It looks like we're gonna come back down, but I have no idea, honestly. All right, so we've rebounded back up some. We are bouncing right there at 415s or so. So we are bouncing right there at 415s. Trying to come back up here. Let's see if it holds. Look at Nvidia shoot back up at 136s here. Super Micro is still running. Look at Super Micro rebound back up. Sorry, I'm over here paying about $900 water bill. Yeah. Let the opening bell play out. I don't even want to try to mess with this. I'm waiting for this to pass. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Remember, we got University of Michigan consumer sentiment data, 25 minutes. Really, it's $930. Again, Carol, her name is the plant murderer. And she gets too much water. Big rebounds back up here. We got Super Micro Semiconductors. We got Nvidia heading up. Looks strong. But the long-term pattern on the NASDAQ looks weak. So I don't know what to do. And honestly, this is a really sketchy part of the day, in all honesty. So just be careful, chat. Russian delegation says we are satisfied with the results of the talks. We will continue talks. We got the MOO imbalance. Super red. Super micro at 46. Nvidia's looking weaker though, but it's the University of Michigan compiling the data, is what it is. Just to put it into perspective, it's University of Michigan compiling the data. All right, so look at us turn down. We crack lows here, looking weak. Yeah, again, I'm just sitting tight here, waiting here. I'm not really hyper interested in taking any positions right now. I want to make sure I got the right funded account up here. Okay, I think this is right. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Nvidia turned. Super micro running up though. Again, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. You pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $50 a month for the base one. Not the end of the world if you fail. It teaches you how to trade under pressure. You learn how to trade in a structured environment, so the risk is limited. Teaches you how to trade, and if you pass the test, you only got to make 3K in profit on a demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions. And you want to confirm it all with them and understand what the rules are. But if you pass it, you get a 90% split, similar to funding your own account. You get to keep your first 10K in profit, even more similar to funding your own account, with a lot less risk, in my opinion. But again, I'm biased. They've paid out hundreds of millions, fund thousands. If you use TopStep X through my link, zero commission. You want to use TopStep X if you go through my link. I mean, zero commission, no PDT roll in futures. You can day trade. The futures market very similar to day trading stocks. Most pro day traders trade futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, currencies in some places. Patterns are very similar. You can trade micro Bitcoin. So it gives you exposure to day trading. But if you want to check it out, here's the link. You can also see a pin at the top of the chat. Understand all this stuff on screen. I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. Be smart. Trade smart. Understand all this stuff. Can't guarantee anything. Don't copy me. Super micro semiconductors ripping up here. Nvidia's falling down though. So this, I still would kind of interested in shorting this, but I'll wait, I guess. Oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong account again. Yep. Traded the wrong account, but it's all right. All right, big upward price action here, chat. Big upward movement all of a sudden. Let's see if it holds down, but big green price action. Here we go. We're catching a lot of these shorts. We're up about $1,000 on our combine account. I'll put this up here. We can try to fight back and go green. Ooh. Let's get ready to maybe trade our actual micro combine account. I'm gonna put micros up here. This is what I'd rather trade in this thing. Looks weak. If we get a little surge back up, we will short this with a micro contract. See if we get some more red action. We'll add 2 up to 433 or 434. It's a very small trade, but there we go. Right, we got out half there. Riding this breakdown a little bit better. And we're going to get out the rest right there. So small open to the day here. Not bad. Oh, wait. Here's a... See, I didn't even have the funded account that I'm trading up here. Hold on, chat. There we go. Still red. Still getting breakdowns here. We got 20 minutes until the University of Michigan data here. We'll see what they say. I mean, they might say good stuff, bad stuff. I don't know. Just crack lows. Look at this red show up. Quick red here. Look at this red. Nvidia just cracked lows again. It's super weak. Getting right down there to the low of the day here again. Nvidia heading down. Just crack lows again. Still looking pretty weak. Quick little retrace back up. Look at that big bounce back here. Is the market prepping in the consumer sentiment data? Hey, they have a good day, Tidy. Sheesh, man. The market is just huge range right now. It's kind of wild. Look at that huge turnaround, too. Let's see what happens here, but man, it's kind of chaotic, dude. Sheesh, dude. Wild movement here, honestly. I don't know if this is wild, but huge retracements back up and down, dude, is what this is. Like, just crazy retracements. Nvidia looks like it wants to fight back, though. We got the University of Michigan data. We could be just chopping leading into it. It's possible. See if we want to trade this again. I don't know. I feel like it wants to come down. It looks heavy to me, but I don't know. You also could have chop leading into the University of Michigan data too. Maybe that's what we get. Super micro, guys, is pumping up though. Look at super micro. It's doing really well. Just broke highs again. I think it wants 50 is what I think. But all right, we're gonna get ready to trade our funded accounts. We got this 433 level. We'll see if that holds too. Nvidia's starting to creep back up. We got this 135 level for Nvidia. I want to see if that level holds. Still creeping up in markets. Still bouncing up high. You know. We're going up. We're going right back down. Looks like we want to go down though, but who knows, man. Look at that 433 level hold. I think I just got to play off of these levels a little bit more. I don't know why my nose is stuffy again. See who's messaging me. Hey, John. Hey, thank you, Lee. Appreciate the plants. Saving effort. Thanks so much for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. Again, guys, hey, we got 12 minutes left before you Mitch consumer sentiment and inflation data. Be ready. Yeah, be ready. Ukraine. So we got a lot of news regarding Ukraine and the U.S. today. It says Ukraine president after call with president. U.S. president says Ukraine is ready for quick steps for peace, robust sanctions. That's what I'm showing right now. And we'll see if that is moving stuff. Starting to see some red show up back in markets again. I gotta start using my levels more because I'm seeing the market react to them really heavily. They're slightly green on the day, but yeah, look at that reaction to it. It keeps trying. We'll try shorting this here, but it's risky. You gotta get micro. All right, U.S. indices are up. Again, guys, we got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. It looks like we're heading up ahead of this. I'm going to short this right here. See if we can come back down some. There we go. We got a little cushion. Let's see if it holds. We tap that 200 EMA. See, I did end up losing $190 somewhere along the way. I think I accidentally got into a NASDAQ contract somewhere. Alright, so this trade's nice. Okay, green. We added to a winning position. Let's see if it holds. We rejected right off of our level. Break it down some. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of that right there just to protect the trade. So a little red on the day so far, but it's been pretty green the last few days. And I think a breakdown looks more probable here, but who knows, man. There we go. Seems kind of dull in here without the music. Micro range is so small. I think I got to trade minis, but we get over this level, I'm cutting it, and we'll reset. I think it's a weird day, and it's a Friday. I'm just going to get out here. Just not an easy day to trade, I think. It's been kind of hard this week. Aquafina. Here, let me get the music going. Here we go. There's some drops. I'll show you guys some of the challenge. I'm in one of these combines, but it's gone so back and forth. I'm a little worried about it. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm in one of these challenges. Like, I'm going to short this right here. Oh, wait. This is a micro contract. I don't want micro contract. I want a regular mini contract here in the combine. Let me switch. Too late, I guess. Alright, we'll short into this little pop. We'll just take a risk in it. We're trying to get funded in this one, so I got to build up like $1,500. We got 8 minutes until the University of Michigan data, so I don't really want to trade my actual funded account. There we go. We'll take half off. We're basically flat in this thing now. All right, there we go. That short looks good. We covered piece of it. Looks good. All right, we're out. Made a little bit there. Love how it respects the lines you have made. Yeah, these are just confirmation lines, but I should probably use them a little bit more than I do. Like, I'm trying to switch over to the new dashboard for Top Step, and so it gets 6 minutes left. And what I'm kind of doing is looking at like choppiness right now, because leading into the data we might have chop boring action. We'll see though. See how it goes. Try to buy this here, but it's risky. It's so whippy in price action today, I think. So it's just like I'm trying to take some positions and attack some levels, but it's kind of difficult ahead of an economic report. I'm kind of shorting into my own resistance level here though, but it's small. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna have to sell now that the breakdown is starting. And we're going back and forth on this one. There's the level. Could short this, but we're kind of wedged. We got too much time. I'll probably just sit tight and wait. I don't want to take too much risk on a Friday, to be honest. German defense minister says he expects filing NATO capability gaps will cost 3% of GDP or more. All right, chat. Hey, we got 4 minutes before the consumer sentiment and inflation data here, 10 a.m. All right, guys. So we have 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. I'm kind of done trading. So basically what we're looking at right now, chat, for inflation expectations today. Last time they showed up at 6.5% for 1 year. The previous 5-year inflation expectations were 4.4%. So the numbers to beat were last time's numbers at 6.5 for 1 year inflation expectations and 4.4%. Now this was under the context of looming tariffs, but that's where we're at now. Consumer sentiment expected today at 53.1. Consumer expectations at 48. So 53.1 is what's expected for May. 1 and 5 year inflation expectations, 1 year 6.5, 5 year 4.4. We got about a minute left, but that's what we're at right now. All right, chat. Still choppy sideways. Kind of boring, but a lot of up wicks and down wicks. It's a really wimpy day, to be honest. It hasn't been easy to make money, I think. We'll let the consumer sentiment and inflation data come out first. All right, guys, less than a minute. Less than a minute. We'll see what we get today. Consumer sentiment and inflation data. Again, consumer sentiment 53.1 is expected. 1 year last time showed up at 6.5% inflation. 5 years showed up at 4.4% inflation. So let's see what we get. Later on today at 11:30, we also have Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter 2 going live. We got 25 seconds, chat. 25 seconds. 20 seconds. I don't know how much this is going to move markets either. This timer's a little bit early, so bear with me. About 12 seconds. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's the report. All right, guys, consumer sentiment much lower than expected at 50.8. Much lower than expected at 50.8. Inflation expectations 1 year 7.3%. Higher than expected. 5 year also higher than expected at 4.6%. And the market does not like this at all. Does not like it at all. We will switch to our funded account here real quick and see if we get some good trades in. But the market does not like this at all. Is down big on this. Yeah. Market does not like this at all. It's down pretty significantly on the consumer sentiment inflation expectation report, but honestly, it's kind of retracing back up. It's kind of weird. But again, 50.8 versus 53.4, much weaker consumer sentiment than expected here. 50.8 versus 53.4, much weaker consumer sentiment than expected. Inflation expectations higher than expected. Initially, we got a big negative market reaction, and then we kind of retrace back up. Let's see if we start going back down here, though. We're basically right here at the bottom. Big negative reaction to this report. See what we get, though. We're kind of right in this middle range. All right, guys, again, we'll put this data up on screen so you can see it. I would assume we get a negative reaction here, but who knows, man. There's the consumer sentiment prelim data. Again, the crazy data is the 1-year inflation expectation. Look at this. Look at that number. That's a weird number. We just put it up in the chat right now. I'll put this up on screen. This is the scary one. NVIDIA says it's not sending GPU designs to China after reports of new Shanghai operation, according to CNBC. I'm trying to post this on our X page. Again, the crazy one is the 1-year and 5-year. Market honestly is ripped all the way back up. Weird. SPY Q. Yeah, we'll just put that up there. All right. Look at this move. Again, worst data here. Worst data. Let me put this at. I'll put this up on the main bottom. I'm kind of curious into shorting this on micro NASDAQ contracts just because it's kind of weak. I'm going to short a little bit of a position here. I'll put the micro NASDAQ up so you can see it. But we're going to see if we break down from this report. It's a little early. Anything could happen here. We're still getting the kind of like initial reactions. We'll put 2 micro contracts up. But sometimes the market just doesn't make sense, so we can kind of try to play the big edge. But I just want to see if we break down on this report. It wasn't a good report necessarily, but I think the tariff news is going to ease a little bit, is what I think. We're kind of flat now, but let me put this up. All right, so there's the data right there. You can see we're actually pretty green now on this trade. I'm going to take half off there, lock that in. We're still up 40 ticks on the last piece. We could add to this, and I think maybe like hold it break even, which it looks like we're doing now, and see if we break down some more. Take out another piece right there. We got a good fill, but still red on the day. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. The market's too hard to predict today, guys. We got bad consumer sentiment, super high inflation expectations, and now we're kind of right back up where we were. It's Friday. Liquidity's low. The range is honestly really small, and so I'm gonna ride out and not worry too much about it. Again, guys, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you want to learn to day trade with limited risk, where if you lose, it's not the end of the world. It's $50 basically for the base one, $100 for the middle one, $150 for the top one. Taking this teaches you how to trade under pressure. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's just a great way to learn how to trade. Most day traders lose money, regardless of where they go. Regardless of whether your guru tells you if you take his course you're going to win or not. Most day traders lose. And there's a lot of nonsense out there. So just understand most day traders lose, and limiting your risk with something like this makes sense. No PDT rule in futures. I'm the top 3 most biased person ever in the world right now. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. And I'm going to get out with a small loss on the day and just kind of be all right. Y'all have a safe weekend. Be good this weekend. We'll see what happens next week. It's honestly a pretty slow week next week. Not a lot's going on. Yeah, we have some NVIDIA news here too. Like, look, so here's some NVIDIA news that just dropped just to cover everything. Again, y'all be safe. Have a great day. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. Good luck.